Hey guys, I'm gonna be doing like kind of like a ranking video of kind of like all the quarterbacks, all the running backs, all the wide receivers, all the tight ends, and kind of like this we're doing just quarterbacks. I'm not doing, but I'll be doing like team running backs, or if you guys want me to do an individual, which I might do, I will do that. Let's start from 32 on this list. I got Carson Wentz, and you're probably gonna say you gotta put Jalen. No, let's start with the auto mentions. Taysom Hill, Dak Prescott, and Jalen Hurts. Now, why not have Dak in there? He's been injured the whole year because he's just Dak. Taysom Hill's played a lot of snaps, but he's not definitely like he's probably better than Haskins and Allen, but he hasn't just played like a lot. So I put him as honorable mentions, and Jalen Hurts again hasn't played that much. So yeah. 32nd, Carson Wentz. Even though he's benched right now, he's played majority of the season, so that's why he's in here. He's been doing terrible this year. And even though he's probably better than half these guys career-wise, honestly. If you think about it. Yeah, about 12 of those guys. Right now, what we're counting, he's not doing anything. Brandon Allen of the Cincinnati Bengals has been doing a subpar year. He's getting a start today versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's why I put him in here. Dwayne Haskins, not been doing amazing this year, but getting the job done. He didn't really get the job done versus Seahawks, but he has not been doing bad this year, even though he's been splitting time with Alex Smith. This is number 30, which I'm going to start doing once I get to 30. Reason he's 30 is because he has a bright young future. Even though he's pretty low on this list, I'm still not gonna give up on Dwayne Haskins just yet. He's top 15 like average, even though he hasn't played that much, average per attempt, which means how many yards he throws downfield. He's has 7.2 in that category. So yeah, Ryan Fitz. He's number 29 because Tua's taken over the ropes, but I don't think he really deserved it. But he's number 29 because he hasn't played that much. But he has Fitz magic, and the reason he's on this list is because he has a long, good career. He's going to be top 20 in most yards by a quarterback, and he's just an overall good leader. That's why I have put him at 29. Number 28, Daniel Jones. They started most of the time, but did not start yesterday versus Colt McCoy. Reason he's not versus Colt McCoy because he was injured. Reason Daniel Jones is at 28 is because, again, just like Dwayne Haskins, he has a bright young future, but at the same time, he's not really proven me a lot. He has a lot of turnovers. That's one bad thing about his game, but he does have a good arm, and he's really, in my opinion, a little bit NFL ready more than other quarterbacks on this list. Number 27, I'm going with Andy Dalton, the red rifle. Honestly, he should be maybe higher on this list, what he's done. Not a terrible year from Andy Dalton, backing up Dak Prescott and coming in. He hasn't really got the job done. That's why he's number 27. And also the reason is because he's just not been getting getting the Cowboys wins. But he is on. Oh, whoops, hold on. He is also on this list because of his just what he can do to sling it. He really gets the job done. Really doesn't take sacks too often. But he's also on this list because he's a veteran and he knows what to do in key situations. 26, Alex Smith. The reason he's ahead of Dwayne Haskins because he's started more games, and plus I feel like he's been playing better. I think he gets a little bit not overhated because he's the most likable guy in the NFL, but I feel like he gets underappreciated. Not under. It's hard to put it in terms because he's like one of the most liked guys in the NFL, but I feel like he's a little bit underrated. Honestly, he gets a lot of passing yards. That's why he's on this list. Not a lot of touchdowns, but he gets the job done. And that's why his team's probably going to win in their division at 6 and 7. Drew Lock at 25. This kid has a bright young future. I know I've said that about Dwayne Haskins and Daniel Jones, but Drew Lock has one of the brightest futures as a quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion, and he just needs to get the right dudes around him to prevail and can succeed. He already has his tight end, Noah Fant, which will be coming up on the tight end rankings, and you probably will know he'll be top 10. But KJ Hamler is not going to get the job done. Cortland Sutton's he's a wide receiver too. But they need a big signing to get him going. 23, Sam Darnold. A little bit of shocker right here ahead. No, 24, Mitch Trubisky. These are interchangeable. Mitch Trubisky, the reason he's number 24 is because he hasn't started all the games this year. So is Sam Darnold, which is coming up on this list at number 23. But he's going to start all games this year. And Mitch Trubisky's oh my goodness. Completion percentage is like 63, which is not going to get the job done. So Sam Darnold, number 23. For pure fact that he's playing for the Jets and he somehow won a game. I don't even know how. But he's not a terrible quarterback in all honesty. I feel like he'll leave next year. Not leave, but I don't think they'll sign him back to the 5th-year option. I'm gonna do a quarterback rankings after this video, like in the same video, like of the 5th-year option pickups. It's gonna be between Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield comparison. So yeah, we can do that. Joe Burrow at number 22, he was injured, so I really can't say anything about him because he's going to be a bright young star in this league. Just got injured. 21, Cam Newton. He is not terrible. I think he's not as bad as people say he is. I know he really turns the ball over a lot, really doesn't get touchdowns that often, but he sometimes is not a bad quarterback. 20 is Tua Tagovailoa. He's been doing good. In the past games, but he cannot do what he did versus the Patriots. They almost cost him the playoffs right there. If he would have kind of choked that. No. But on to number 19, which is Teddy Bridgewater up there. I feel like he does a great job of clock management, and I feel like he does a good job of those read option plays. He can run. He can pass the ball pretty well. And overall, not a bad player. 18, Jared Goff. Jared Goff is a really good play-action quarterback when he gets into pressure, kind of like what Baker Mayfield was doing. I'm going to talk about how Baker Mayfield is a top something. How Jared Goff is, like, they lost to the Jets. I mean, I don't know. He might be worse than, like, Teddy B, honestly, but it's pretty close. But he did lead his team to a Super Bowl. I'm not going to take that away from him, and I'm not going to take away that he's really good at play-action passes, and he has a lot of talent. He has receivers around him, so I'm not going to give him that excuse. And he has really weapons. He has a pretty good defense, so he might not be all that, but I'm going to give him an 18 of what he's been showing. 17, Kirk Cousins. He could be way higher on this list, and I think him and Phillip Rivers are interchangeable. But Kirk Cousins, the reason he's 17 is because he has a big interception percentage, even though it's really dropped down. If the Vikings did not start out the year what they did, did not start out the year with Kirk Cousins and playing that bad, I feel like they might have made the playoffs. But the reason they're back in the playoff conversation, not really anymore, is because of Kirk Cousins. 16, Phillip Rivers. He's done a really good job of not throwing the ball away anymore. Or not turning the ball over yesterday versus the Houston Texans. But that is probably a fact that the Texans have one of the least turnover differentials in the NFL. But we won't talk about that. Phillip Rivers has not been doing bad lately. He's actually been doing pretty well. But overall, this year's been a subpar quarterback. 15, Matt Stafford, still one of the most underrated players in the league, and probably half of people's most underrated player in the NFL, maybe in the past decade. Matt Stafford is really tough, that's why he's on this list, and number 15 this high. And Matt Stafford also gets the job done a lot for you, but I just feel like his career has been wasted on the Detroit Lions. Sorry. 14, Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's been really actually not that bad this year. He needs to cut down the interceptions, just like he did versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Had I think 2. And he had 3 versus the Los Angeles Chargers. So you just got to turn it down on that, Matt Ryan. 13, Derek Carr. He started out the year really good, has a hammy injury, but the Raiders have really choked lately, so I just don't know. He's number 13. This is going to get a lot of people mad, but at number 12, I got Baker Mayfield. Hold on. I forgot Ben Roethlisberger. He is Carr 14. So we're going to go ahead and take Carson Wentz off the list. Brandon Allen. Carson Wentz is 32. 31. 32. Yeah, just hold on. Ben Roethlisberger on this list for all those Steelers fans is number 12. Baker Mayfield is 13. Just what's Baker Mayfield and Derek Carr tie, okay? Baker Mayfield has been proven that he's an absolute gunslinger. He's an absolute one of the best Browns quarterbacks of all time, and he's been proven lately that he can get the job done. He's been doing amazing in the past weeks, and I cannot wait to see him versus the New York Jets, see if he can do anything better, see if he can do anything worse to make me put him higher on this list, but still, at number 13, a really high spot. 12, Ben Roethlisberger, I think he's a little bit better than Baker Mayfield, but I hate all those Steelers fans saying that Ben Roethlisberger's way better than Baker Mayfield right now. It's actually pretty closer than you think, but I will give Ben Roethlisberger the edge because of experience, and his team has a better record, and he just has a better overall resume than Baker Mayfield. At 11, Tom Brady, the GOAT himself. He's been doing pretty good this year. 31 touchdowns, 7 interceptions right now. He's been doing really any of everything right, except for clock management, and he needs to start not coming back. He needs to just get this team to win, any way, shape, or form. Number 10, Justin Herbert getting into the top 10. Justin Herbert has been an absolute stunning rookie, offensive rookie of the year, probably no doubt anymore. Closest to him to just James Robinson and Justin Jefferson. But Justin Herbert's been actually really, really good this year, and I didn't really think he was going to do this good this year. But he has like 27 touchdowns, not a lot of interceptions. One thing I say he needs to get better at is his accuracy. I know it's pretty good on the stat sheet, but his receivers have made actually really good plays this year, including Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Jalen Guyton. He also has Hunter Henry on his side, so that's pretty good. 9, Ryan Tannehill. He could be higher than Lamar Jackson on this list, but it's just because Derrick Henry's been really carrying the load. Not really this year as much as he did last year, but still Derrick Henry's in MVP conversation. But Ryan Tannehill's also in MVP conversation, just not as much as Derrick Henry. The thing that Ryan Tannehill really does well is play action passes and really getting the checkdowns good. Things he does bad is forcing the ball down the field. Sometimes. 8, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's been really doing well the past 3 weeks, like he did versus Jacksonville Jaguars, but I don't think he's top 5 at all. I just don't think so. 7, Kyler Murray. 7, Drew Brees. I'll stick to my original list. 7, Drew Brees. An absolute stunning completion percentage and an absolute great check down bullets. But that's the thing that Drew Brees does good. His passing yards is not the best, but he needs to take more risk, in my opinion. If the Chiefs want to make the Super Bowl, they're going to have to take more risk, and they're going to have to do something that other teams don't do. Like the Kansas City Chiefs take a lot of risk. The Packers take a lot of risk. Every team that's really contending takes a lot of risk, and in my opinion, the Saints don't do that. 6, Kyler Murray. I'm still giving him top 6 because of the pure fact that he's actually pretty good at mobilizing. Just the Cardinals have not been really doing well over the past 5 games, but they have won 2 in a row, and that's good for them. Their team morale boost will go up, and Kyler Murray's a really good football player, and I think he'll be top 5 in one day. 5, Josh Allen. I don't even know how he's close to not being top 5. An absolute one in a generation type talent. Kid's has been absolutely amazing this year. So for like 30 touchdowns, only a limited amount of interceptions. Completion percentage has skyrocketed this year, and he takes risk. I don't really don't have anything terrible to say about Josh Allen. The one thing I have a teensy bit take away from him is that he needs to start getting the ball out earlier. I know he doesn't take a whole lot of sacks because his offensive line's pretty good. But he needs to get the ball out earlier if there's a check down open and not trying to absolutely force down the field. I know it works a lot of times, but in the playoffs that might cost you a game. And right now the Bills are all or nothing in my opinion. Not all or nothing because they'll be back next year. But honestly, they're not one of those teams like, in my opinion, my Browns or the Colts or the not the Ravens, the Dolphins that probably will be one or done. For Deshaun Watson, I might not give it to him at the end of the day, but Deshaun Watson's absolutely carried his team. Carried his team. It's pretty sad that all those Ravens fans say that Deshaun Watson is not top 4 because Deshaun Watson carries his team. Without Deshaun Watson, the Houston Texans would be the worst team in football, or the second worst, probably the second worst. But one thing that Deshaun Watson has to do better is just to not turn the ball over as much as he does. I know he really doesn't turn it over on interceptions, but his fumbles this year have been costly. I know that one was a bad snap versus the Colts, and this one they lost by one little fumble both times. 3, Russell Wilson. 2, Aaron Rodgers. And 1, Patrick Mahomes, because Patrick Mahomes is 5th in completion percentage, and that's it.